What if the Separatists won the Clone Wars? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. The Battle of Coruscant rages across the skies of the Republic capital. Explosions light up the atmosphere as thousands of ships clash in a desperate struggle. Republic cruisers fire volleys into the Separatist fleet, but for every ship they destroy, 2 more take its place. General Grievous stands aboard his flagship, the Invisible Hand, watching the chaos unfold with cold, mechanical eyes. Everything is proceeding as planned, but not in the way anyone expects. Deep within the ship, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi cut through battle droids, racing to rescue Chancellor Palpatine. They burst into the observation deck where Count Dooku waits, his crimson blade ignited. The Sith Lord smiles at their arrival. Right on schedule, young Skywalker. But I wonder, are you ready for what comes next? The 2 Jedi attack in perfect coordination, their blades flashing against Dooku's elegant Form 2 style. But something is different this time. Dooku isn't fighting to kill. He's fighting to delay. Outside, the battle reaches its critical moment. Republic Admiral Yularen watches his tactical display with growing horror. Sir, we're detecting massive hyperspace signatures. It's the entire Separatist reserve fleet. They knew we'd commit everything to defend Coruscant. This was a trap. Hundreds of Separatist warships drop out of hyperspace, surrounding the Republic forces completely. The trap snapped shut with devastating efficiency. Back aboard the Invisible Hand, Anakin drives his lightsaber toward Dooku's neck, but the Count doesn't defend. Instead, he simply smiles. Do it. Kill me. It won't change what happens next. Your Republic is already dead, Skywalker. Anakin hesitates, and in that moment, the entire ship shudders. Obi-Wan's eyes widen as he feels something terrible through the Force. The Republic flagship just exploded. Yularen is dead. Half our fleet is gone. Dooku deactivates his lightsaber and steps back. You've lost, Jedi. But I'm not your enemy, not truly. The real enemy has been manipulating all of us. Palpatine's eyes narrow dangerously, but before he can speak, General Grievous enters the room, his mechanical breathing filling the silence. Count Dooku, the Republic fleet is in full retreat. The capital is ours. Dooku nods slowly, his gaze never leaving Palpatine. Then it's time to reveal the truth, wouldn't you say, my lord? Anakin looks between them, confusion and anger warring on his face. What are you talking about? What truth? Dooku's expression becomes almost sympathetic. The man you've been protecting, the one you call Chancellor, is the Sith Lord we've been searching for, Darth Sidious. I know because he trained me. The revelation hits like a physical blow. Anakin's lightsaber wavers as he turns to Palpatine, seeing the cold calculation in his eyes. It's not true. Tell him it's not true. But Palpatine's mask is already slipping. His kindly expression twists into something cruel. Oh, but it is true, my boy. Though I must say, Count, your timing is impeccable and unfortunate for you. He raises his hands and lightning erupts, but not at the Jedi. The blast strikes Dooku in the chest, sending him crashing through the viewport. Grievous lunges forward, all 4 lightsabers igniting, but Palpatine is faster. The Force slams into the cyborg general, crushing his chest plates and sending him sprawling. Now, young Skywalker, you will kill them both and take your place at my side. The Republic may fall, but we will rule through the Separatists instead. Anakin's mind races. Everything he believed is crumbling. The Chancellor is a Sith Lord. The war was a lie. How many clones died for this deception? How many Jedi? His lightsaber trembles in his hand. Obi-Wan steps beside him, blade ready. Together, Anakin. Whatever you're feeling, we face this together. But before they can attack, the ship lurches violently. Explosions rock the hull as Republic bombers make a final desperate run. We're going down, Obi-Wan shouts over the chaos. The ship begins its death spiral toward Coruscant's surface. Grievous pulls himself up, damaged but functional. He grabs Dooku's unconscious body. The Count lives. That's all that matters. He drags Dooku toward an escape pod as the ship tears apart around them. Palpatine snarls and unleashes another burst of lightning, but Anakin raises his blade and absorbs it. Not this time. Not ever again. The 2 Jedi charge forward, but Palpatine is a master of the dark side. He moves like a shadow, his lightsaber appearing in his hand and spinning in a deadly arc. The invisible hand continues to plummet, flames engulfing entire sections. "You cannot defeat me," Palpatine hisses. "I am the Senate, I am the Republic, and soon I will be everything," but his arrogance blinds him to the danger. As they duel, the ship's reactor reaches critical mass. Obi-Wan feels it through the Force. "Anakin, we need to leave now." But Anakin won't back down. He presses his attack, rage and betrayal fueling every strike. "How many lives have you destroyed? How many people suffered because of your lies?" Palpatine laughs, the sound echoing with madness. "Suffering is the natural state of the galaxy, boy. I simply learned to profit from it." The final explosion tears through the observation deck. Metal screams and the vacuum of space begins to pull everything out. Obi-Wan uses the Force to grab Anakin and pulls them both toward an escape pod. "No!" Anakin shouts. "We have to finish this!" But it's too late. Palpatine is already gone, vanished into the chaos. As their pod launches, they watch the invisible hand break apart, massive sections crashing into Coruscant's upper levels. The Senate district takes a direct hit. Billions of credits of damage in seconds. Below them, Separatist dropships are landing across the planet. Battle droids pour out by the thousands, securing key locations while the remaining Republic forces fall back in disarray. This is Senator Bail Organa broadcasting to all Republic forces. "Coruscant has fallen. I repeat, Coruscant has fallen. All personnel are to evacuate to the rendezvous point at Alderaan. May the Force be with us all." When Anakin and Obi-Wan's pod crashes in the lower levels, they emerge to a nightmare. The city is burning. Civilians run through the streets as battle droids establish checkpoints. "This can't be happening," Anakin whispers. "This is the capital, the heart of the Republic. We're supposed to protect these people." Obi-Wan places a hand on his shoulder. "We will. But first, we need to survive and regroup. Come on, we need to find the temple." But as they race through the burning streets, they don't know that the Jedi Temple is already under siege. Master Yoda stands in the council chamber, his ancient eyes sad as he watches the battle unfold on the holonet. Around him, the remaining council members look to him for guidance. "What do we do, Master Yoda?" Mace Windu asks. "The Republic is falling apart. Our forces are scattered. And if what Dooku claimed is true, we've been serving a Sith Lord this entire time." Yoda closes his eyes, reaching out through the Force. He feels the deaths of thousands of Jedi across the galaxy. He feels the darkness that has been growing, hidden in plain sight. "Failed, we have. Blind to the truth, I was. But dwell on our failures, we cannot. Survive, we must. Rebuild, we will." He opens his eyes with new determination. "Evacuate the temple, we must. Younglings and Padawans first. A new path, the Jedi Order must find." But Mace Windu shakes his head. "If we run now, we abandon billions to Separatist rule. We have to fight. We have to show the people that the Jedi haven't given up." Yoda regards him with infinite sadness. "Die pointlessly? You wish to? No. Strategic retreat is not surrender. Live to fight another day, we must." But Master Windu refuses to back down. "Then you go, Master. Take the younglings. But I'm staying. The Jedi don't run." Several other council members nod in agreement. Kit Fisto, Shak Tai, and Plo Koon step forward. "We stand with Master Windu. The temple is our home. We defend it." Yoda knows he cannot change their minds. "Then may the Force be with you, my friends." He turns to the remaining council members. "Come. Much to do we have. Little time remains." As the temple begins its evacuation, Count Dooku wakes in a medical bay aboard a Separatist cruiser. Grievous looms over him, damaged but intact. "You're lucky to be alive, Count. Palpatine meant to kill you." Dooku sits up slowly, his body aching from the lightning. "I know. He's been planning my death for years. I was always meant to be a stepping stone. But now, the Jedi know the truth. Everything changes." He stands and walks to the viewport, looking down at Coruscant below. The planet glitters with fires. "We've won the battle, but the war is far from over. Palpatine will try to seize control of the Separatist Council. We need to move fast. Grievous crosses his arms. What do you propose? Dooku's eyes gleam with newfound purpose. We expose him completely. Every recording, every communication. We show the galaxy that this war was orchestrated by a Sith Lord who played both sides. Then we offer something the Republic never did, true freedom. Meanwhile, in the Senate building, the few remaining senators huddle in the emergency bunker. Senator Padme Amidala stands at the center, her face pale but determined. We need to evacuate now. The Separatists will be here soon. But Senator Ornfrita shakes his head. Where will we go? The Republic is finished. We should surrender and negotiate for our lives. Padme's eyes flash with anger. Negotiate with droids and corporations. They don't care about our lives. They care about profit and control. Bail Organa steps forward. Padme is right. We need to leave and establish a government in exile. Alderaan will welcome any who wish to continue the fight. But many senators look uncertain. The Republic they knew is gone. Some begin to whisper about accepting Separatist terms. It's over, Senator Amidala. Can't you see that? We lost, but Padme refuses to give up. The Republic isn't just a government. It's an ideal. As long as we believe in democracy and justice and freedom, the Republic lives. She looks around at the frightened faces. I'm going to Alderaan. Anyone who still believes in those ideals, come with me. One by one, senators begin to stand. Not all of them, but enough. Bail smiles. Then let's move. We don't have much time. As they race through the Senate tunnels toward the emergency landing platforms, they don't see the battle droids already moving through the building, securing it room by room. The commander droid receives new orders directly from the Separatist Council. Capture Senator Amidala alive. She is to face trial for war crimes against the Confederacy. Outside, Anakin and Obi-Wan finally reach the temple, but what they find breaks their hearts. The grand entrance is riddled with blast marks. Clone troopers lie dead alongside Jedi, their bodies scattered across the steps. What happened here? Anakin breathes. These are our troopers. Why would they attack the temple? Obi-Wan kneels beside a fallen clone, examining his armor. Look at these blast patterns. They were shot from behind. In the chaos of the invasion, someone turned them against the Jedi. They rush inside to find the temple in shambles. Some Jedi still fight, defending the younglings as they evacuate. Master Windu stands in the main hall, his purple blade dancing as he deflects blaster fire from an entire company of battle droids. When he sees Anakin and Obi-Wan, relief flashes across his face. Thank the Force. We need to get everyone out now. Where's Master Yoda? Obi-Wan asks. Windu cuts down 3 more droids before answering. He left with the younglings and the archives. Smart move. This place is lost. But even as he speaks, the main doors explode inward. General Grievous strides through the smoke, his 4 lightsabers spinning. Behind him, hundreds of droids pour in. Grievous's eyes lock onto Windu. I've waited a long time for this, Jedi. Let's see if you're worth the reputation. The two collide in a blur of lightsaber strikes. Windu's Vapad style feeds on Grievous's aggression, but the cyborg general's forearms give him an overwhelming advantage. Anakin and Obi-Wan move to help, but more droids flood in, cutting them off. We need to collapse this entrance, Obi-Wan shouts. Seal them in so the others can escape. Anakin reaches out with the Force, feeling the massive pillars supporting the entrance. With a roar, he brings them crashing down. Stone and Duracrete bury dozens of droids, but Grievous leaps clear at the last second. The general regards them with something like respect. Impressive, but ultimately futile. This temple will fall. The Jedi Order will fall, and from its ashes, true peace will emerge. Anakin's lightsaber burns brighter. You call this peace? Invasion? Conquest? You're just trading one corrupt government for another. Grievous laughs, the sound harsh and mechanical. At least we're honest about what we are. The Republic hid behind noble words while enslaving worlds with debt and bureaucracy. We're bringing true independence. The philosophical debate is cut short as the ceiling begins to crack. The temple is coming down. Windu disengages from Grievous. Fall back, everyone to the hangar. They run through crumbling corridors, using the Force to shield themselves from falling debris. Behind them, Grievous pursues relentlessly, his mechanical body immune to fatigue. In the hangar, the last Jedi transports are powering up. Master Shaktai waves them forward. Hurry, we're the last ones. But as they reach the ships, Anakin stops. Someone's still inside. I can feel them. It's younglings. They didn't make it out. Obi-Wan grabs his arm. Anakin, we can't. The temple is collapsing. If you go back, you'll die. But Anakin pulls free. Then I'll die saving them. That's what Jedi do. Before anyone can stop him, he races back into the burning temple. Obi-Wan curses and follows. Of course he does. They're a team. Deep in the temple, they find a group of younglings trapped in a collapsed corridor. A young Togruta girl, maybe 7 years old, reaches out with tears streaming down her face. "Please, we're scared." Anakin kneels beside them, his voice gentle despite the chaos. "It's okay. I've got you." He uses the Force to lift the massive stone blocking their path. The strain is immense. His muscles scream. Blood vessels burst in his eyes. But he holds it, inch by agonizing inch, until the younglings can crawl through. Obi-Wan guides them toward the exit, but Anakin's strength is failing. "I can't hold it much longer." "Then don't. Just run." "But if he lets go, the entire section will collapse on them." Anakin grits his teeth and digs deeper into the Force than he ever has before. He feels something dark there, something powerful and tempting. He could use it. The anger at Palpatine's betrayal, the fear of losing these children, the hate for everything that's happened. It would give him the strength he needs. For a moment, he almost gives in. But then he feels something else. A light in the darkness, Padme. The thought of her centers him. Love isn't a path to the dark side. It's what keeps us human. With a final surge of pure light side energy, he hurls the stone away and collapses. Obi-Wan catches him. "Foolish, stubborn, heroic idiot. Come on." They sprint through the collapsing temple as it falls apart around them. Behind them, Grievous emerges from the smoke, but even he recognizes a losing battle. The general watches them escape, then turns to salvage what he can from the ruins. On the last transport, Anakin lies unconscious, the younglings huddled around him. The little Togruta girl holds his hand. Is he going to be okay? Obi-Wan looks at his former Padawan, battered and broken but alive. He'll be fine. He always is. The ships lift off just as the temple's central spire collapses in a massive cloud of dust and debris. 1,000 years of Jedi history, gone in moments. Master Windu stares at the destruction, his face like stone. We've lost everything. Our home, our legacy, our place in the galaxy. But Obi-Wan shakes his head. We've lost a building. The Jedi are more than stone and archives. As long as we live, as long as we remember what we stand for, the Order survives. Windu wants to argue, but looking at the younglings safe in Anakin's arms, he can't. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this is the Force telling us we've been too rigid, too bound by tradition. Perhaps it's time for something new. As they leave Coruscant behind, the holo-news broadcasts across the galaxy show the Separatist victory. Count Dooku appears on every channel, his face grave but determined. Citizens of the galaxy, today the Clone Wars have ended. Not through further bloodshed, but through the inevitable triumph of freedom over tyranny. Coruscant has fallen. The corrupt Senate that bled you dry with taxes and bureaucracy is no more. But this is not the end. It is a beginning. He pauses, his next words carefully chosen. For too long, you've been told that the Separatist Alliance is your enemy, that we are heartless droids and greedy corporations. But I ask you, who built the clone army that devastated your worlds? Who prolonged this war at every turn? Who profited from your suffering? He presses a button and new images appear. Recordings of Palpatine. Not the kindly Chancellor, but the Sith Lord. We present to you the truth. Chancellor Palpatine is, and has always been, the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. This entire war, every battle, every death, was orchestrated by him to seize absolute power. The revelation sends shockwaves across the galaxy. On thousands of worlds, people watch in horror as the recordings play. Palpatine meeting with Separatist leaders. Palpatine ordering the creation of the clone army. Palpatine manipulating Senate votes. All of it captured by Dooku's spy network over the years, held as insurance, now released to the public. But we are not here to replace one tyrant with another. The Confederacy of Independent Systems offers you a choice. Join us in creating a new galaxy, one where corporations serve the people, not the other way around. One where worlds govern themselves without interference from a distant capital. One where freedom means more than empty words. Dooku's image fades, replaced by the Separatist seal. The war's over. The choice is yours. On Alderaan, the refugee Republic government watches the broadcast in stunned silence. Bail Organa turns to the assembled senators. He's turned our victory into his. Even in defeat, he's winning. Padme stands, her jaw set. Then we counter. We show the galaxy what Separatist freedom really means. Droid armies occupying worlds. Corporate exploitation without oversight. Slavery by another name. But Senator Mothma shakes her head. Will anyone listen? We've been lying to them for years about this war. We ignored corruption, looked the other way when corporations abused workers, used the Jedi as soldiers instead of peacekeepers. Maybe Dooku is right. Maybe the Republic deserved to fall. The words hang heavy in the air. Even the most loyal Republicans can't completely deny them. Padme refuses to accept defeat. The Republic made mistakes, serious ones. But abandoning democracy isn't the answer. We need to be better, to rebuild something worthy of the ideals we claim to represent. But first, we need allies. She looks at Bail. What worlds are still with us? Bail pulls up a star map. It's not encouraging. Alderaan, Chandrila, and a handful of core worlds. Maybe a few thousand systems total. The rest have either surrendered to the Separatists or declared neutrality. We're outnumbered 20-1. On Mustafar, in a secret facility, Darth Sidious watches the broadcasts with barely contained rage. His carefully laid plans, decades in the making, unraveling in days. Dooku has betrayed him. Grievous still lives. The Jedi know his identity. Everything is falling apart. His apprentice, if you can even call him that anymore, stands ready to act. But Sidious is not finished. He didn't become the most powerful Sith in 1,000 years by giving up easily. If I cannot rule through the Republic, I will take the Confederacy from within. Dooku thinks he's won, but he's forgotten who taught him everything he knows. I will corrupt their new government from the inside. I will turn their member worlds against each other. And when they're weak and divided, I will strike. He activates a secure channel. Commander Cody, execute Order 66. Across the galaxy, clone troopers receive the command. Their inhibitor chips activate, overriding their free will. On 100 worlds, clone forces turn on their Jedi generals. Some Jedi sense the betrayal in time and escape. Most don't. The purge isn't as complete as Sidious hoped. The chaos of the Separatist victory disrupting the coordination. But thousands of Jedi die. On Kashyyyk, Master Yoda feels each death like a knife to his heart. The younglings around him in the hidden transport cry out, sensing the disturbance. So much death, so much darkness. But mourn later we must. Survive now we must. He sets course for the unknown regions, to an ancient temple he once visited centuries ago, a place where they can hide and rebuild. On Alderaan, Obi-Wan clutches his head as he feels Jedi dying across the Force. Anakin rushes to his side. What's happening? The clones. They're killing Jedi everywhere. It's a coordinated attack. Palpatine's final revenge. Even in defeat, he struck at us. Anakin's hands clench into fists. We have to stop this. We have to save them, but there's nothing they can do. By the time they could reach any of the embattled Jedi, it will be too late. Obi-Wan sinks into a chair, feeling more tired than he ever has. The Jedi Order is finished. Not just scattered, but hunted. We're the enemy now to both sides. The Separatists won't trust us because we serve the Republic. The Republic remnant needs us but can't protect us. And somewhere out there, Sidious is still planning his revenge, but Anakin won't accept despair. Then we adapt. We survive. We find a way to fight back. That's what you taught me, Master. Never give up. Never surrender. Obi-Wan looks at his former Padawan and sees the same determination that has saved them 100 times. You're right. The Jedi may fall, but we rise again. It's what we've always done. On Separatist-controlled Coruscant, Count Dooku addresses the Confederacy Council. Newt Gunray, Wat Tambor, San Hill, and the other corporate leaders look at him with a mixture of respect and wariness. We've achieved what we set out to do. The Republic has fallen. But now comes the harder part, building something better. Gunray leans forward, greed evident in his eyes. And the profits from our victory? Surely the Trade Federation is entitled to significant compensation for our losses. Dooku's expression hardens. This is precisely the thinking we must move beyond. The Confederacy was founded on the principle of independence and freedom. If we simply become a corporate oligarchy, we're no better than the Republic. Wat Tambor's mechanical voice crackles. Then what do you propose, Count? That we operate at a loss? That we ignore the economic realities of governing trillions? It's a valid question, and Dooku knows his answer won't be popular. We establish a new system, one where corporations are allowed to profit, but within strict regulations that protect workers and consumers. Where worlds truly govern themselves, but contribute to a common defense. Where the powerful are held accountable instead of hiding behind bureaucracy. The council chamber erupts in angry voices. Several corporate leaders stand, shouting about government overreach and socialist policies. San Hill's voice cuts through the noise. You speak of ideals, Count Dooku, but ideals don't feed armies or repair infrastructure. We spent trillions winning this war. Someone has to pay for it. And if not the conquered Republic worlds, then who? Dooku knew this moment would come. The corporations that funded the Separatist movement expect to be rewarded, but if he gives in now, everything they fought for becomes meaningless. The difference between us and the Republic must be more than just which flag flies over Coruscant. He stands, using the Force to project authority without overtly threatening. The worlds that join us willingly will be treated as equals. Those that resist will face economic sanctions, not military occupation. And any corporation found exploiting member worlds will have their assets seized and their leadership tried for crimes against the Confederacy. Is that clear? The silence that follows is tense. Finally, Newt Gunray speaks. You've become quite tyrannical for someone preaching freedom, Count. Dooku meets his gaze without flinching. I'm preventing you from becoming the very thing we fought against. If you cannot see the wisdom in that, perhaps your seat on this council should be reconsidered. It's a bold move, threatening the Trade Federation, but Dooku has Grievous and the droid army loyal to him. The corporations can complain, but they cannot fight him. Not yet. On the Republic refugee fleet, Padme works tirelessly to hold the remnant government together. She meets with senators, coordinates with Bail Organa on logistics, and tries to maintain morale. But it's a losing battle. Every day more senators leave, accepting Separatist amnesty or simply giving up. Mon Mothma finds her late one night, staring at a star map. We're losing them. By next month, we might not have enough senators left to form a quorum. Padme doesn't look away from the map. Then we need to give them a reason to stay, something to believe in. Mothma sits beside her. What did you have in mind? A new vision. The Republic failed because it became too bloated, too corrupt, too disconnected from the people it served. So we don't restore the Republic, we build something new. A true democracy, lean and responsive, one that learns from our mistakes. It's an ambitious idea, but Mothma sees the wisdom in it. A new Republic, not bound by the old constitution or the old ways. She nods slowly. It could work, but we need more than words. We need victories. We need hope. Padme finally turns to her. Then we start small. We find worlds suffering under corporate rule. We help them. We show them there's an alternative. Mothma smiles. Sounds like we're starting a rebellion. Padme returns the smile. I prefer resistance, but yes, if the Separatists want to rule the galaxy, they'll have to earn it. Meanwhile, Anakin and Obi-Wan have been tasked with a dangerous mission. Track down surviving Jedi and bring them to safety. It's painstaking work, made harder by clone forces still hunting them. On Felucia, they find Kit Fisto barely alive, surrounded by dead clones. The Nautilus Jedi is exhausted but relieved to see them. I thought I was the only one left. Obi-Wan helps him to the ship. You're not. But there aren't many of us. We're gathering survivors on Alderaan. On Kashyyyk, they rescue Luminara Unduli from a clone detention center. On Ryloth, they find Aayla Secura leading a group of refugees to safety. Slowly, painfully, they rebuild what's left of the Jedi Order. But it's a shadow of what it once was. Maybe 100 Jedi survive out of 10,000. When they return to Alderaan with the survivors, Master Windu calls a meeting. The Jedi who remain gather in a simple room. Nothing like the Grand Council chamber they once knew. We need to decide what comes next. Do we join the Republic remnant? Do we go into hiding, or do we forge our own path? The debate that follows is heated. Some argue for hiding, protecting the younglings, and waiting for the darkness to pass. Others want to fight, to help the Republic resistance. Still others think the Jedi should abandon politics entirely and return to their ancient role as wandering peacekeepers. Anakin listens to it all, then stands. Maybe we're asking the wrong question. It's not about what the Jedi Order should do. It's about what the galaxy needs. And right now, the galaxy needs hope. It needs heroes. The Separatists control most of the known galaxy, and Palpatine is still out there scheming. If we hide, we abandon billions to their fate. If we only fight for the Republic, we're just choosing one side over another. But if we help anyone who needs it, regardless of politics, then maybe we can be what the Jedi were always supposed to be. Obi-Wan nods in agreement. He proposes a middle way. A small group of Jedi could work with the Republic resistance, providing military support and training. Another group could focus on protecting the younglings and preserving Jedi knowledge, and a third group, volunteers only. Anakin studies him through the Force, searching for deception. What he finds is complicated, layers of guilt, ambition, and genuine regret. Dooku believes what he's saying. Whether he's right is another question. I'll tell the others. But if you're lying, if this is a trap, I'll be the one to end you. Dooku inclines his head. I would expect nothing less, Skywalker. The negotiations resume with new urgency. Anakin shares what Dooku told him, and though the Republic representatives are skeptical, they can't ignore the threat. Padme proposes a temporary ceasefire. Both sides agree to stop military operations while they search for Sidious. It's not peace, but it's a start. Dooku agrees, though he knows his corporate council members won't be happy. Grievous says nothing, but his mechanical eyes watch everyone carefully. As the meeting concludes, an alarm suddenly blares. Mandalorian guards rush in, weapons ready. We're under attack. Unknown ships dropping out of hyperspace. They're targeting the palace. Everyone moves to the windows and sees them. Dozens of unmarked warships, their designs mixing Republic and Separatist technology. They open fire on the city below, targeting both Separatist and Republic positions indiscriminately. Dooku's face goes pale. It's him, Sidious. He's forcing our hand, trying to reignite the war by making it look like one of us betrayed the ceasefire. Grievous is already moving. We need to evacuate now. Get to your ships. But Anakin stops them. No. If we run, we prove we can't work together. We need to fight, together. The idea is insane. Jedi and Sith, Republic and Separatist, fighting side by side. But Padme sees the opportunity. He's right. If we cooperate now, publicly, we show the galaxy that peace is possible. Bail Organa nods. And we expose Sidious's desperation. He's losing control if he's this obvious. Dooku makes his decision. Very well. Grievous, coordinate with the Jedi. Protect the civilians and destroy those ships. The cyborg general's eyes narrow, but he nods. This should be interesting. He ignites his stolen lightsabers and turns to Obi-Wan. Try to keep up, Jedi. The unlikely alliance springs into action. Anakin and Obi-Wan lead Mandalorian fighters through the city, evacuating civilians while Grievous's droid forces establish defensive positions. Above, Separatist and Republic ships engage the mysterious attackers. It's chaos, but coordinated chaos. For the first time since the war began, both sides fight for the same goal. In the streets, Anakin deflects blaster fire while helping families to safety. A building collapses nearby, and he uses the Force to hold it up long enough for people to escape. Beside him, battle droids provide covering fire. The surreal sight of Jedi and droids working together isn't lost on anyone. Civilians watch in amazement, hope flickering in their eyes. Obi-Wan finds himself fighting alongside Grievous, and despite everything, there's a strange respect between them. The general's forearms work in perfect synchronization, his lightsabers creating an impenetrable defense. You're not as clumsy as I expected, Jedi. Obi-Wan parries a blaster bolt. And you're not as mindless as the propaganda suggested. Perhaps we've both been lied to about each other. Above the city, the space battle rages. Count Dooku personally leads his flagship, coordinating the defense with Republic Admiral Tarkin, who commands the Resistance fleet. The two military minds work in unexpected harmony, their combined strategies overwhelming the attackers. But the enemy ships fight with suicidal determination, clearly controlled remotely. On the ground, Anakin reaches out with the Force, trying to sense who's behind this attack. What he finds chills him. The enemy ships aren't manned at all. They're completely automated, controlled from somewhere far away. Sidious isn't here. This is just a probe, a test to see if we'd fall for it. He's pushing us to resume the war, but from a safe distance. The revelation comes too late for some. One of the attacking ships crashes into the palace, destroying the east wing. Duchess Satine is caught in the blast. Anakin races to the rubble and finds her pinned beneath a massive beam. Obi-Wan arrives seconds later, his face stricken, Satine. Together they lift the beam with the Force while Mandalorian medics pull her free. She's badly hurt but alive. Her eyes find Obi-Wan's. You came back. I always knew you would. He takes her hand, his usual composure cracking. Don't speak. Save your strength. The medics say she'll survive, but the injury is severe. As they carry her away, Obi-Wan stands in the ruins, staring at his hands. I could have lost her. Again. Anakin places a hand on his shoulder. But you didn't. She's alive because we were here, because we chose to fight together instead of apart. That's what Sidious fears, unity. It's the one thing his manipulation can't overcome. Obi-Wan takes a breath and nods. Then we give him something to fear. The battle ends with the mysterious fleet destroyed, but the cost is heavy. Hundreds dead, thousands injured, and a city in ruins. But something else has happened too. The galaxy watched Jedi and Separatists fight together. They saw Count Dooku risk his life to protect civilians. They saw Grievous coordinate with Obi-Wan Kenobi. The narrative Sidious tried to create falls apart under the weight of what actually happened. In the aftermath, Dooku and Padme stand together on a balcony overlooking the damaged city. "This changes things," she says quietly. "The galaxy saw what we accomplished together. They'll start asking why we're still enemies." Dooku watches work crews, both droid and organic, clearing rubble side by side. Perhaps that's the answer we've both been searching for. Not victory for one side or the other, but transformation. A new government that combines the best of both systems. Padme turns to him. "You're proposing a merger? The Confederacy and the Republic becoming one?" Dooku shakes his head. "Not a merger. Something new entirely. The Republic was too centralized, too corrupt. The Confederacy is too fragmented, too dominated by corporate interests. But what if we created something that balanced local autonomy with collective security, that protected individual rights while preventing exploitation?" It's a radical idea, the kind that would have been impossible just days ago. But after fighting together, after seeing what cooperation can achieve, it doesn't seem so far-fetched. Bail Organa joins them. "I've been in contact with several senators. They're open to negotiations. Real ones this time, not political theater. And my sources say some of your corporate council members are willing to discuss reforms, especially after seeing the public response to today's battle. But not everyone is pleased." In the shadows, Newt Gunray meets with Wat Tambor and San Hill. They watch recordings of the battle with disgust. "Dooku has betrayed us. He's making deals with the Republic, giving away everything we fought for. We need to remove him before he dismantles the Confederacy entirely." San Hill's holographic form flickers. "And how do you propose we do that? He has the droid army. He has Grievous. And now he has public support." Gunray's eyes gleam with malice. "Then we find someone who can kill him, someone with power equal to his own, someone who hates the Jedi as much as we do." He activates a hidden channel, transmitting on a frequency very few know. The response comes from a dark, hooded figure. Darth Sidious smiles. "Finally, they come to me willingly. This will make things so much easier." On Alderaan, Anakin meets with Padme in a quiet garden. They haven't had time alone since the war ended, always pulled in different directions by duty and crisis. She looks exhausted but determined, and when she sees him, something in her expression softens. "I've missed you." The simple honesty of it makes his chest ache. "I've missed you too." Every day, they sit together on a bench watching the sunset. For a few precious moments, they're not a Jedi and a senator. They're just two people who love each other, stolen moments in a galaxy on fire. "Do you think we can really do this?" she asks. "Build something better? Or are we just delaying the inevitable?" Anakin takes her hand. "I don't know, but I know we have to try. Because if we don't, if we just accept that the galaxy will always be torn apart by war and suffering, then what's the point of any of this?" Padme leans against him. "When did you become so wise?" He laughs softly. "I had good teachers and someone worth fighting for." But their moment is interrupted by an urgent summons. Master Yoda has arrived from the unknown regions with troubling news. They find him in the command center, surrounded by holographic star maps. "Sense a great disturbance, I do. The dark side grows stronger, concentrated in one place." He points to a planet in the outer rim, Moraband, the ancient Sith homeworld. "Someone has gone there, awakened something terrible." Obi-Wan studies the coordinates. Moraband is supposed to be abandoned, haunted by dark side energy. Who would be foolish enough to go there? Yoda's ears droop. "Know this, I fear I do. A presence familiar yet changed. Stronger in the dark side than before. Dooku, it may be. Or something wearing his face." The revelation sends a chill through the room. If Dooku has fallen back to the dark side, everything they've worked for collapses. The fragile peace, the cooperation, all of it built on the belief that he was sincere. Anakin refuses to accept it immediately. "We don't know it's him. It could be Sidious or some other Sith. We need to investigate before jumping to conclusions." Master Windu agrees. "I'll take a team to Moraband. If it is Dooku, we end this now." But Anakin steps forward. "No, if anyone goes, it should be me. I spoke with him on Mandalore. I looked into his heart. If he's fallen, I'll know. And if he hasn't, I can help him resist whatever's calling him there." The argument continues, but ultimately Anakin gets his way. He departs for Moraband with a small team including Obi-Wan, who refuses to let him go alone, and surprisingly, General Grievous. The cyborg insists on coming, claiming that if Dooku has betrayed them, he deserves the right to kill him personally. It's a pragmatic, if unsettling, addition to the team. The journey to Moraband takes days, and the closer they get, the more oppressive the dark side becomes. Even Grievous, who has no force sensitivity, feels it. The ship's systems malfunction randomly. Lights flicker. The temperature drops. By the time they reach the planet, everyone is on edge. Moraband's surface is a wasteland of ancient tombs and crumbling temples. The air itself feels heavy with malevolence, pressing down on them like a physical weight. Anakin leads them through the Valley of the Dark Lords, following the disturbance Yoda sensed. They find Dooku in the heart of an ancient Sith temple, kneeling before a massive sarcophagus. The Count looks up as they enter, and his eyes are yellow. But there's something else there too, a battle raging behind them. Part of him resists the darkness. I was wondering when you'd arrive, Skywalker. Come to witness my ascension, or to try one last time to save me. His voice wavers between Dooku's cultured tones and something deeper, more malevolent. Anakin ignites his lightsaber but doesn't attack. You don't want this. I saw inside you on Mandalore. You're not like Sidious. You actually care about the galaxy's future. Dooku laughs, the sound bitter. Care? I've spent my entire life caring. And what did it get me? A republic that ignored suffering. A Jedi Order that became complacent. And when I tried to change things, I became the villain. He stands, Force lightning crackling around his hands. So I came here to learn from the ancient Sith, to gain power enough to reshape the galaxy whether it wants to change or not. The sarcophagus behind him begins to open, dark energy pouring out. And I found something better than power. I found purpose. Obi-Wan steps forward. This isn't purpose, Dooku. It's slavery to the dark side. Whatever's in that tomb, it's using you. Dooku's eyes flash with anger, but for a moment they return to their normal brown. He's right. I can feel it. The presence in the tomb. It's been whispering to me since I arrived. Promises of power, visions of a perfect galaxy, but they're lies. I can feel that too. The internal struggle manifests physically. Dooku clutches his head, lightning arcing wildly around him. Get out, all of you! I don't know how much longer I can resist. But Anakin doesn't run. Instead, he deactivates his lightsaber and walks forward. If you're going to resist, you don't have to do it alone. That's what the Sith never understood. They think strength comes from standing alone, but real strength comes from standing together. He extends his hand. Come back with us. Face the Council. Face judgment if you have to. But don't throw away everything you've built by falling back into darkness. For a long moment, Dooku stares at the offered hand. Behind him, the sarcophagus fully opens and a spectral figure emerges. Ancient, terrible, and hungry. It's the spirit of Darth Bane, founder of the Rule of Two. The spirit speaks with a voice like grinding stone. Foolish boy, you cannot save him. He came here seeking power, and power I shall give him. Through him, the Sith will rise again. The true Sith, not the pretenders who hide in shadows. We will rule openly, as is our right. The dark side surges, trying to overwhelm Dooku completely, but Anakin doesn't back down. He reaches out with the Force not to attack, but to support. He lets Dooku feel his conviction, his light, his refusal to abandon anyone to darkness. Obi-Wan joins him, then Grievous steps forward. The cyborg may not have the Force, but his loyalty to Dooku is absolute. You're the one who gave me purpose when I was nothing. You made me more than a weapon. Now I'm returning the favor. Stand up and fight, Dooku. The combined support, the belief that he can resist, gives Dooku the strength he needs. With a roar of defiance, he channels all his will into rejecting the dark side. Force energy explodes outward, shattering the sarcophagus and banishing Bane's spirit. Dooku collapses, drained but free. His eyes are brown again, filled with exhaustion and gratitude. As they help him up, the temple begins to collapse. The dark side energy that sustained it is gone, and the ancient structure can't support itself anymore. They run through crumbling corridors, dodging falling stones and bottomless pits. Behind them, the Valley of the Dark Lords tears itself apart, as if Moraband itself is dying. They make it to the ship seconds before the entire temple collapses into dust. As they escape Moraband's atmosphere, Dooku stares at his hands. I almost fell. If you hadn't come, if you hadn't believed I could be saved, I would be serving Bane right now. Anakin sits beside him. That's what the Jedi do, or at least what we should do. We save people, even from themselves. The return journey is quieter, contemplative. Dooku knows he'll face consequences for going to Moraband. The fragile peace they built will be tested by this revelation, but he's ready to face it. On Mandalore, now partially rebuilt, the peace conference reconvenes. This time, everyone knows the stakes. Dooku stands before the assembled representatives and tells them everything. His journey to Moraband, his near fall, and his rejection of the dark side. The response is mixed. Some call for his arrest. Others see his resistance as proof of his sincerity. The debate rages for hours until Padme stands and silences them all. We've all made mistakes in this war. All of us have blood on our hands. The question isn't whether Count Dooku is perfect, because none of us are. The question is whether we're willing to move forward together or tear ourselves apart fighting over the past. Her words resonate. Slowly, grudgingly, the representatives begin to work. Over the following weeks, a new government takes shape. Not the Republic, not the Confederacy, something new. They call it the Galactic Alliance, a federation of independent systems with a small central government focused on defense and trade regulation. Power is deliberately limited and distributed, with strong checks against corruption. The corporate members of the old Separatist Council resist, but their influence is waning. The public has seen what happens when profit takes priority over people. New regulations are passed, protecting workers' rights and environmental standards. It's not perfect, and the battles over implementation are fierce, but it's progress. The Jedi Order undergoes its own transformation. Master Yoda steps down as Grand Master, believing the Order needs fresh perspective. In his place, they establish a council of equals with no single leader. The Order splits into 3 branches, as Anakin suggested. One branch works with the Galactic Alliance, providing security and training. Another focuses on preserving knowledge and training younglings. And the third, led by Anakin and Obi-Wan, travels the galaxy helping anyone who needs it. But Darth Sidious hasn't given up. Somewhere in the shadows, he plots his return. His agents spread throughout the new Galactic Alliance, slowly corrupting it from within. He's learned patience. This time he won't rush. This time he'll win. On Naboo, Anakin and Padme finally have their wedding. It's small and private, attended only by close friends. Obi-Wan officiates, smiling as his former Padawan pledges his life to the woman he loves. No longer do they have to hide. The Jedi Order's prohibition on attachment has been relaxed, recognizing that love is not a path to darkness, but a defense against it. As they stand together watching the sunset over the lake country, Padme rests her head on Anakin's shoulder. Do you think we did it? Did we actually save the galaxy? Anakin thinks about all they've been through, all they've lost and gained. I think we gave it a chance. That's all anyone can do. The rest is up to them, but peace, as always, is fragile. On a dozen worlds, trouble brews. Old hatreds don't die easily. Systems that lost everything in the war want revenge. Corporations stripped of their power plot to reclaim it. And somewhere in the dark, Sidious waits for his moment. On Dathomir, Mother Talzin performs a dark ritual. She's been contacted by Sidious, offered power in exchange for her service. Together, they plan to create a new Sith army, one that will sweep away the Galactic Alliance and establish true Sith rule. The ritual succeeds, and from the mists of Dathomir, warriors emerge. Enhanced by Night Sister magic and armed with ancient Sith weapons, they are the vanguard of Sidious's new order. The first attack comes without warning. A Galactic Alliance outpost on Dantooine is overwhelmed in minutes. The defenders never stood a chance against enemies who blend Force powers with Night Sister magic. Word reaches the capital, and the newly formed Alliance Council convenes an emergency session. Count Dooku, now serving as military advisor, recognizes the attack pattern immediately. This is Sidious. He's found new allies and new weapons. We need to respond quickly and decisively. But Bail Organa cautions restraint. We can't let fear drive us to overreaction. That's how the Republic fell in the first place. We need to investigate, understand what we're facing, then plan our response carefully. The debate is cut short when a second attack hits Rhodia, then a third on Ryloth. The enemy moves with terrifying speed and coordination, striking at soft targets and vanishing before reinforcements arrive. Panic begins to spread through the Alliance. Is this the start of a new war? Are they doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? Anakin and Obi-Wan are dispatched to investigate the attacks. On Ryloth, they find survivors who describe their attackers. Warriors wreathed in green mist, wielding red lightsabers, moving with impossible speed and strength. It's not just military training. It's something else. Something dark. Anakin senses the residue of Night Sister magic mixed with Sith alchemy. Talzin. She's working with Sidious now. The realization is grim. Mother Talzin's power combined with Sidious's cunning makes for a dangerous combination. Obi-Wan contacts the Council. We need to strike at the source. Find Sidious and Talzin before they can build a full army. But finding them is easier said than done. They hide behind proxies and shadows, never revealing their location. It's Master Yoda who suggests a solution. Track them through the Force we cannot, but track their magic perhaps we can. There is one who knows Night Sister ways better than any. He's referring to Asajj Ventress. The former Sith assassin has been living in hiding since the war ended, trying to find peace after a lifetime of violence. When Anakin and Obi-Wan find her on a remote planet, she's initially hostile. "I'm done with wars and Sith and all of it. I just want to be left alone." But when they explain about Talzin's alliance with Sidious, something in her eyes changes. "Talzin is creating an army? Using our magic for his purposes?" She spits on the ground. "That's a violation of everything the Night Sisters stand for. Our power isn't meant to serve the Sith. It's meant to be independent, wild, free." She agrees to help, but on one condition. "When we find Talzin, I deal with her personally. She betrayed the Night Sisters by allying with a man who would enslave us all." Anakin nods. "Agreed. But Sidious is mine. I've been looking forward to facing him ever since Coruscant." Together, the unlikely team tracks the magical signature across the galaxy. It leads them through the unknown regions, past ancient star systems that haven't seen visitors in millennia. Finally, they locate the source, a hidden fortress on a dead world, powered by a massive dark side nexus. Hundreds of Sidious's new warriors train there, preparing for a full-scale invasion. The team realizes they can't assault the fortress alone. They need an army. Anakin contacts the Galactic Alliance, but the council is divided. Some want to send a massive force. Others fear it's a trap. While they debate, precious time slips away. Obi-Wan grows frustrated. This is exactly what destroyed the Old Republic. Endless debate while people die, but Padme has an idea. "We don't need the full Alliance military. We need volunteers, people who believe in what we're fighting for." She broadcasts across the galaxy, calling for anyone willing to stand against tyranny to join them. The response is overwhelming. Former Republic soldiers, reformed Separatist fighters, free clones led by Fives, Mandalorians loyal to Satine, even some corporate security forces whose leaders have had enough of Sidious's manipulation. Within days, they assemble a fleet of volunteers. It's not the massive army of the Clone Wars, but it's something better. It's people from every corner of the galaxy, every species and culture, united by choice rather than conscription. As they prepare to attack the fortress, Anakin addresses them. "We're not here to conquer or occupy. We're here to end a threat to all of us, to stop the Sith from rising again, to prove that unity is stronger than darkness." The attack begins at dawn. The volunteer fleet drops out of hyperspace in a tight formation, immediately engaging the fortress's defenses. Unlike the Clone Wars, where battles were cold and mechanical, this fight has passion behind it. Every fighter knows why they're there. Meanwhile, Anakin leads a strike team of Jedi and volunteers to infiltrate the fortress itself. They fight through corridors filled with Night Sister warriors enhanced by Sith alchemy. The enemies are fierce, but the strike team is determined. Obi-Wan and Grievous work together again, their unlikely partnership now refined through trust. Ventress moves like a shadow, her knowledge of Night Sister tactics letting her anticipate and counter every attack. Deep in the fortress, they find them. Mother Talzin stands before an altar, channeling energy into a massive crystal. Beside her, hidden in shadows, is Darth Sidious. His presence is overwhelming, a black hole of darkness that seems to swallow all hope. When he steps into the light, his face is twisted with hate and triumph. At last. "I was beginning to think you'd never find me." Ventress immediately attacks Talzin while Anakin faces Sidious. The Sith Lord's power is terrifying. His lightning fills the room, forcing everyone back. But Anakin doesn't retreat. He remembers every lesson, every training session, every moment of growth. He channels the light side, pure and focused, meeting darkness with unwavering determination. Their lightsabers clash, and the Force itself seems to scream. Sidious is faster, more experienced, more ruthless. But Anakin has something Sidious never understood: connection. He feels Padme's love across the galaxy, Obi-Wan's trust beside him, the hope of billions resting on this moment. It fills him with strength that the dark side can never match. Meanwhile, Ventress duels Talzin in a battle of Night Sister against Night Sister. Green energy whips and crackles between them as they throw spells and counterspells. "You betrayed us!" Ventress shouts. "You sold our power to a Sith Lord." Talzin's laugh is cruel. "I elevated us." With Sidious's victory, the Night Sisters will rule worlds, not hide on Dathomir. But Ventress knows Talzin's style, her tells, her weaknesses. She feints left, then strikes right, her blade finding its mark. Talzin falls, her magic dissipating into the air. As she dies, she whispers, "You've doomed us all. Without me, there's no one to control the magic." The fortress begins to shake as the uncontrolled dark side energy runs wild. Sidious senses Talzin's death and rage fills him. He unleashes his full power, lightning arcing in every direction. Anakin is thrown back, his defenses nearly overwhelmed. For a moment it seems like Sidious will win, but then Obi-Wan joins the fight, then Grievous, then Ventress. One by one, the entire strike team surrounds Sidious. The Sith Lord finds himself facing not one enemy, but dozens. Jedi, clones, warriors of every kind, all united against him. He fights with inhuman skill, his lightsaber and force powers devastating. But there are too many. Slowly, inevitably, they push him back. In his desperation, Sidious makes a final gambit. He channels all his power into the dark side nexus beneath the fortress, trying to cause an explosion that will kill everyone. But Anakin has one more trick. He reaches out to every force-sensitive person in the fortress, linking them together. Jedi, former Sith like Ventress, even Dooku, who has arrived with reinforcements. Together, they channel the light side into a barrier around the nexus, containing Sidious's explosion. The Sith Lord's eyes widen as he realizes his trap has become his prison. With a final scream of rage and hate, Darth Sidious is consumed by his own dark side energy. The explosion contained, redirected inward, destroying him utterly. The fortress begins to collapse, but the strike team escapes, racing to their ships as the entire structure crumbles into dust. On distant Moraband, in ruins even older than those on Moraband, something stirs in the darkness, a presence that has waited centuries for the right moment. The Sith are not gone. They never truly are. But for now, for this generation, there is peace. And that, as Anakin once said, is all anyone can do. Give the galaxy a chance. The rest is up to them. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.